चक्षुरुन्मीलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि। पूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविता शाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलम्। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम्। दक्षिणे लक्ष्मणो यस्य वामे च जनकात्मजा पुरतो मारुतिर्यस्य तं वन्दे रघुनन्दनम्। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय। Thank you for being here. You've been here for six days, or actually we've done 7 sessions. We've done seven sessions. 7, 8 is our 8th session. I think so. Feels like the 20th session, but 8th session. Thank you for being here. I'm very, very honored, grateful that you've taken the time out. I thought Singapore is a small city, but I realized that anywhere you have to go, minimum takes about half an hour, 40 minutes. To sacrifice so much time and be here, this is your, I take it as your expression of affection for me, and more importantly, some interest, some taste, some relish in Sri Rama, Nama and Katha. So I pray that your attraction for Sri Ramachandra grow, and that you don't have any resistance or hesitation as your heart moves towards him. Him with Sita Devi, that's more important. As important. So we'll meditate on wonderful personality Sri Hanuman, because he's the hero in the Sundarakanda. So we'll be covering topic from Sundarakanda today. So there's a famous verse, perhaps you may be aware, and if you are, you can recite along with me. Yatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, tatra yatra Raghunatha Kirtanam, tatra tatra Kritamastakhanjali, Ashpavari Paripurnalochalam, Marutim Namata Rakshasantakam. This is a very unique verse. So it says Yatra Yatra Raghunatha Kirtana. When in Sanskrit verses you hear two words like that repeated, Yatra Yatra, it means wherever. Wherever, Raghunatha Kirtanam, there is the glorification of Sri Raghunath. Tatra Tatra, it means every place where Ram Katha is spoken, there Sri Hanumanji is present. Sometimes not visible, mostly not visible. But if someone gets a glance from him or you get to see him, then life is perfect. But he doesn't sit in Kirtan of Ramachandra just like that. Every word he hears, every time he hears the name Rama, Rama's Rupa, Guna, Leela, for him, Hashpa means tears of joy. Hashpa Bari, Paripurna Lochanam. His eyes become filled, brimming with tears of love and joy and ecstasy. Marutim. Oh, Tatra Tatra Krita Mastakanjali. Anjali, Mastakanjali, like he sits like this and hears the whole Katha. Or Mastaka, his hands are on his head like, oh Sri Ramanam, oh Sri Rama, Ram Katha, like that. And eyes are filled and brimming with tears. Yet, Marutim, Namata, but we offer our obeisances to. Then he says, Rakshasantapam. So, on one hand, he can be fierce and kill Rakshasas mercilessly. But such a warrior, the moment he hears Ramanama or anything about Sri Ramachandra, his heart is so soft that his eyes are filled. A very beautiful verse. So then we'll go to, since it is Sundarakanda, it is very unique that Sri Valmiki Muni, among all the other kandas, the names are either of the places or of the event that is going on. Balakanda means Ramachandra's Balya until his wedding with Sita Devi. Then Ayodhya Kanda, whatever is happening in Ayodhya. So Balakanda is about the first 12 years of Sri Ramachandra's manifest pastimes. Then Ayodhya Kanda is about what happens in Ayodhya, and that covers another 12 years of Sri Ramachandra's life. But the highlight is on one evening or one night. So about a day and a half, at the most, let's say 2 days, because by the time the preparations happen, by the time can you hear me in the back? Okay, the volume, someone has to increase it. So Ayodhya Kanda covers pretty much 12 years, but we just spoken about 12 years, but the event is in one evening, another day when Ramachandra is getting ready to leave. Then Aranya Kanda. Aranya Kanda covers almost 13 years of their pastimes. Then Kishkindha Kanda covers about 10 months. Sundarakanda covers 1.5 days. That is all. Pretty much one night, but let's say 1.5 because Hanuman comes back to report to Sri. So just 1.5 days, and it's the largest Kanda. And then is Yuddha Kanda. Yuddha Kanda technically is the next 2 months of time because they have to go to the they have to build a bridge, go to Lanka, fight war, come back, go back to Ayodhya. And then Uttarakanda just covers for the next 10,000 years. Totally, Ramachandra was on planet Earth for 11,000 years. So, something that happened in 1.5 days is given the most significant place with the largest kanda. That means it's important. Another is if you watched National Geographic or Animal Planet videos ever, let's say a video of a cheetah running after a deer or an eagle flying and picking up fish from the water. How do they show those videos? They're always in slow motion. Because if they show it in the actual speed, we cannot see anything. It's just too fast. But when they make it into slow motion, You can see the muscles of the cheetah, the eyes that are fixed on the deer's eyes, the speed, the galloping, the running, the whole thing is, but if they're speeded up to actual, and done. So Valmiki gives us slow motion. Everything is slowed down, and we just get what's happening in that part. But interestingly, he called it Sundarakanda. So I have a different document or something where there are 9 different reasons, but we'll cover them here. There's a beautiful shloka. It'd be nice to repeat. So why was the kanda called Sundara Kanda? What is it in Sundara Kanda? That is, Sundara means beautiful. For now, we'll operate with that definition. Technically, in Amarakosha type dictionaries, it says Nashtra, something that has been lost, when it is found back, that is called Sundara. So we know who was lost and who was recovered. But here someone may ask, okay, it's called Sundarakanda. What is Sundara? So this is a beautiful verse. You can repeat after me. The next one. Sundare Sundaro Rama.
Sundare Sundaro Rama.
Sundare Sundari Katha.
Sundare Sundari Katha.
Sundare Sundari Sita.
Sundare Sundari Sita.
Sundare Sundaram Vanam.
Sundare Sundaram Manam.
Sundare Sundaram Kavyam.
Sundare Sundaram Kavyam.
Sundare Sundarat Kavihe.
Sundare Sundaram Yahi.
Sundare Sundaram Mantram.
Sundare Sundaram Mantram.
Sundare Kimna Sundaram.
Sundare Kimna Sundaram.
So Sundare Sundaro Rama. Ramachandra is not there in the Sundarakanda. He is in Kishkinda. But in the entire Sundarakanda, from starting to end, you feel the presence of Sri Ramachandra. The only 2 persons that are there, Sita Devi and Hanuman, and Ravana is side character. But Ramachandra's presence is felt everywhere because he is in Sita Devi's heart from starting to end. In Kishkindakanda, there is no Sita Devi. But from starting to end, you feel the presence of Sita Devi because Ramachandra is in such separation from her that you feel the presence of Sita in her absence. Sundari. And second, he's Rama Sundara because Hanuman describes to Sita Devi when she asks him, how do I know you've seen Rama? Tell me how he looks from head to toe. So he describes. The very first sloka that he says is for Sita Devi, he starts the description with this shloka. It's a beautiful shloka. He says, Sundarakanda, Rama Kamala Patraksha, Sarva Sattva Manoharaha, Rupadakshinya Sampanno, Prasuto Janakatmaje, O Janaka Atmaje, O the daughter of Janaka. And he starts with the word Rama because everything in creation and on the spiritual level is included in that word Rama, the source of all happiness. That means the source of the happiness of the soul, not on the material level, is Rama. He's the source. If anybody, anywhere in the universe, anywhere in the spiritual world feels some pleasure that's happy, it's because of Sri Rama. So he says Rama, Kamala Patraksha. Kamala, white lotus. Padma is red lotus, Kamala is white lotus. Kamala Patta Akshar. His eyes are so big and you can see the white of his eyes. Kamala Patta. Sarva Sattva Manohara. Sattva in this means every living being, animals, birds, insects, worms, humans, Devatas, Gandharvas, Yaksharas, Kinnaras, Rakshasas, Kimpurushas, Naga, Sarva Sattva Manohara. He can please and charm every creature in creation. Rupa Dakshinya Sampanna. He has such good looking features. Some people don't have good looks, but they can surgically get them for some short period of time and then it goes away. But Ramachandra has fantastic Rupa and he will tell her this Rupa is not Botox and bought later. He says Rupa Dakshinya. Dakshinya means compassion. Some people have to be taught how to be compassionate. Let's say a living entity like me who's used to cruelty, either in the style of eating, the style of speaking, the style of behavior, because there's animalistic tendency. But in Ramachandra's case, he's very, very merciful. Rupa Dakshinya Sampanna. So someone may say, where did he learn how to be compassionate? Someone must have taught him. No, no, no. Rasuto Janak, he was born with this. He appeared since his childhood as a baby till 11,000 years and continuing. His handsomeness and beauty and charm only expanded but never diminished in whatever condition he was in. In fact, a person, if you imagine wearing banyan tree sap and tying their hair as a jata, it's all stiff, and living in the forest, so no necessarily shaving, doesn't say anywhere. Only it says that when he reached Ayodhya, Bharata had a barber come and shave everything. But let's assume he's living in the forest, wearing jute clothes and covered with deer skin. But people rushed to him. The sages in Dandakaranya rushed and they were stunned to see him. It is said that the sages, when they saw the form of Ramachandra, whichever body part they saw first, their eye did not go to another body part at all. Because let's say someone saw the big toe, their eyes were fixed on that big toe because they were so good looking, so well formed. The nail was like this, the color, the form was so enchanting that they could not see the rest of the form of the god. Someone saw the shoulder, finger, eyes, head, chest, that's it, they were stuck there. He is so handsome. Sundare Sundaro Rama, Sundare Sundari Katha. The whole story of Hanuman going across the ocean, meeting Sita Devi, having a conversation with her, bringing the message back, destroying Lanka. Sundara. Very, very nice. Sundare, Sundare means in Sundarakanda. Sundare, Sundari, Sita. The first verse we will see how Hanuman sees Sita Devi. Nobody is Sundara in such a condition, but she is. Why? Because it is not the bodily condition that determines someone's beauty, but the beauty of their heart, especially because in that heart, Ramachandra is below Kayanti, is fully manifest in that heart. Sundare Sundaram Vanam. This Ashoka Vana that Ravana had created and put together competed with Indra's Nandanandana garden. In fact, that was not so great as this one was. And the beauty is that the two Sundare, Sundari, Sita and Vanam are in the same line because in such a garden where everybody wanted to be in such a garden to experience what kind of pleasure is it? Sita never looked at even one tree, bird and said, beautiful. She never said. In fact, it was ugly for her. It was unbearable for her. And when Hanuman first sees Ashoka Vana, he says, wow, what he has created, amazing. Even Hanuman glorifies it. Sundare Sundaram Kavya. The poetry is top notch. We will see some words, some phrases, the analogies. We'll touch some and get a little taste test. Sundare Sundara Kapi. Nobody ever says that Kapi means monkey is good looking. You will never tell someone, Are you're wearing such nice dress, you look just like a monkey. No one gives that as a comparison. But this Kapi is very special. He's Rama Dasa, Rama Bhakta. And his service attitude for Sri Ramachandra is so attractive that everybody wants to be like Hanuman in his service. He inspires men, women, children, all sorts of beings, right? Including the President of the United States, not this one. He used to carry a little Hanuman in his pocket. Barack Obama. Sundare Sundaram Mantram. Mantram. There are different verses that are used or spoken as mantras. They have certain potency because they are the name of the Lord, or they are spoken by Sita Devi, they're spoken about Hanuman. So they have a certain potency in it. Sundare Sundaram Mantra. And then then the poet says, Sundare Kimna Sundaram. What is it that is not beautiful in Sundarakanda? I can't list it anymore. It's just everything is beautiful. So we will go right into the Ashokavana. Hanuman has been searching for Sita Devi. He has not found. You know the story. He did not find her. He was very despondent. He was sitting and thinking, how will I find Sita Devi? I have no message. Although Sampati said she is here. Should I give up my life? What is the use of it if I can't find Sita Devi? He goes through that phase. And then there is a beautiful verse, which is a lesson for us, that when he can't find her, he says, Namostu Ramaya sa Lakshmanaya Devyai cha tasmai Janakatmajaya Namostu Rudrendra Yamanilebhyaha Namostu Chandrar Kamarudganebhyaha. So he is offering obeisances starting with Rama, Lakshmana, and then to Sita Devi. So whenever we are lost, we don't know what step to take forward in life, when we don't know what choice to make in the whatever situation we are in, because it's complex, this is the verse to recite. So he says Sundaram Mantra, Namostu Ramaya sa Lakshmanaya. So we remember the Supreme Lord and his brother Lakshmana, and in a more general Tattva level, we remember Guru. And then he says, Devyai Chatasmai. Oh, I offer my obeisances to Devi, Janaka Atmajayai, unto the daughter of Janaka. Why is the choice of words like that? Because he's saying Devyai. Devi. Devi means one who comes from the spiritual world or higher realms. It's called Div. It's glowing, effulgent. Devyai means that effulgent personality. It is night time in Lanka. He can't find Sita Devi. So by saying Devyai, he's saying, please, you manifest unto me. This is how Rupa Goswami also tells us, right? Ata Sri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye. Sevon mukhe jivvado swayameva spuratyadaha. Swayameva. Only when the Lord and his internal potency reveal themselves can we get some other one. Otherwise, none of the things like Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela, our senses can grahyam, can hold. So he says, Devyai cha tasmai, and how? Janakatmajayai. You revealed yourself to Janaka. Similarly, please reveal yourself. A wonderful sloka. Okay. So he's trying, and then he realizes there is Ashokavana I haven't seen, and then he goes into Ashokavana, and there under a Simshupa tree, she's sitting like the other day I had expressed. She's sitting with her knees to her chest, her hands around her knees, her face bent down and crying. So this is the verse. Tato malina samvita rakshasibhi samavritam Pavasa Krisham Dinam Nishvasanti Punah Punah
Nishvasanti punah punah
Dadarsa Shukla Pakshado
Tadarsa shukla pakshadau
Chandrarekhamiva Malam
Chandrarekham ivamaram
Malapankadharam Dinam
Malapankadaram tinam
Mandanarham Manditam
Mandanarham amanditam
Pratham Nakshatra Rajasya
प्रभां नक्षत्रराजस्य
कालमेघैवावृताम्.
कालमेघैरिवावृताम्.
So I explained that first verse the other day, so I'm not going to repeat, just quickly say. Tato Malina Samvitam, she was wearing a single piece of cloth that was Malina. It was all with dirt or stains on it. Rakshasibihi Samavritam, she was surrounded by Rakshasis. Upavasa Krisham Dina. Jai Shri Shri Jagannath Bhaveshwar Ramani ki jai. Upavasa Krisham Dina. Dina, helpless. Krisham, emaciated from fasting. She's not been eating for 10 months. She hasn't eaten. She has not drank any water. She has not smiled even once. Upavasa Krisham Dina, Nishwasanti Punah Punaha. And she is exhaling again and again. Rama, like that, just sad. So Hanuman saw her. Even then, Dadarsa Shukla Pakshado, Chandra Rekhamiva. So the very first sliver. Today is the Tritiya, I think. Tritiya? Tritiya or Tritiya? I don't remember the Kanja. Srila Prabhupada. So still she looked Amalam, although very, very skinny. Amalam because she is pure. That's how he saw her. She revealed herself to him. Malapanka Dharam. Malapanka. Panka? Mud. Because what is born from mud is lotus. Panka Ja. So Mala Panka Dharam. Dirt and dust. Deen Dharam. She is lying down on the floor. Deenam. Again, helpless. Mandala Arham. She is eligible for, fit for wearing all sorts of decorations on her body because she's a queen. She's Ramachandra's wife, but a Mandita. She's not wearing any jewelry on herself. Prabham Nakshatra Rajasya. Who's Nakshatra Raja? The moon. She looked like the Prabham, the effulgence of the moon, however, Kala Meghai Iva Avrutam, as if she's covered by dark clouds. So you can understand that there is full moon, but you can't see the moon. You're just seeing the slight glow of that moon. She's covered by sadness. She's covered by that rascal Ravana. That's what it covered in the sense. Her whole joy, her countenance is all hidden. Okay. So then he's sitting on the Simshupa tree. He is the size of a cat, hiding between the leaves and looking at what is going on. So a lot of things happen there. Ravana comes and threatens. Forget all that. Because we can't cover the Sundarakanda right now. Maybe if I'm invited again, we can just cover Sundarakanda at some point in the year. Let's see. I'm uttering the Sankalpa in front of Jagannath. So anyway, he tries to make contact with her, but she is hesitant because last time she trusted somebody and she got kidnapped. She trusted a sannyasi and got kidnapped. And now she's seeing a Vanara. And so first she thinks, I'm seeing a Vanara. Is it a bad dream? Because as soon as you dream of a Vanara, it's considered a bad dream. And then she says, no, it can't be a dream because I haven't been sleeping. I'm awake. I'm seeing a Vanara, little tiny one. So she asks, who are you? Are you Ravana in disguise? He says, no. This is who I am. Vanaroham Mahabhage.
वानरोऽहं महाभागे
Duto Ramasya Dhimatah.
दूतो रामस्य धीमतः
रामनामाङ्कितं चेदं
रामनामाङ्कितं चेदं
पश्यदेव्यङ्गुलीयकम्
वस्त्रदेव्यङ्गुलीयकं
प्रत्ययार्थं तवानीतं
प्रत्ययार्थं तवानीतं
तेन दत्तं महात्मना
तेन दत्तं महात्मना
समाश्वासाय भद्रं ते
समाश्वासाय भद्रं ते
क्षीणदुःखफलाह्यसि
क्षीणदुःखफलाह्यसि.
Oh Mahabhage, greatly fortunate Sita Devi. One may say, what is fortunate? She's sitting in Ravana's garden. But the point is, at this point onwards, your bhaga is opened up. Not because she was seeing me, but he says, Vanaroham, I'm Vanara. Mahabhage, Duto Ramasya. I am the Duta, the messenger of the Dhimata, very, very intelligent Sri Ramachandra, wise person. What does he say? Rama Nama Ankitam Anguliyakam. Here is a ring that has the name of Rama in it. Pashya Devi Anguliyakam. Please look at this one. Pratyayartham Tavanitam. For your deliverance, Anitam, I have brought. But was given by whom? Tena Dattam. He gave it. Mahatmana. Samashvasai. Ashvasa, become pacified, become confident. So Samashvasai Bhadrante. From this point, Kshina Dukkha Phala Hi Asi. Phala, Dukkha Phala, the fruit of your sadness or your entire sadness, he certainly Kshina is gone away or will go away. So he calls Ramachandra Dhimatam. We'll take some time and slow down here because the words have deep meaning. Dhimatam, very intelligent. And Mahatma, and he is very, very large-hearted, generous, benevolent. So why is he called Dhimatam? Although we recite the verse about Hanuman, Manojavam, Maruta Tulya Megam, Jitendriyam, Buddhimatam Varishtam, the best among Buddhimatas. And that person is saying Ramachandra is Dhimata, very intelligent. The reason being, we'll say it now. When Hanuman met, so this is our Vaishnavacharya is giving us a little hidden stuff. Hanuman is a brahmachari, kattar brahmachari. Ramachandra is a grahastha. So when he saw Ramachandra crying, like a pitiable common man, we discussed, right? He would ask the leaves, the trees, the birds, the ants, the deer, Godavari, where is Sita, where is Sita? And he would cry like that in Kishkinder. So Hanuman thought, "Oh, such a great Ikshwaku family member. His father had 365 wives. He's a Kshatriya. Why is he crying for him? He can always marry someone else. So why cry like that? I mean, it looks very weak. So among all the Vanaras who were going in search of Sita Devi, Ramachandra comes to him and says, Hanuman, I have the sense that you may see her, and when you see her, give her the same. And now when Hanuman has seen Sita Devi, her beauty, although she's not beautiful per se. Oh, I have to tell you why Malina. She's not so beautiful, but because she's constantly chanting Ramachandra's name, and she kicked, not physically or literally, but figuratively kicked Ravana away, although he gave her the proposal that the entire Lanka will be your servant, including Mandovani, and you will be the greatest personality in the universe. She told him, "Chit, I don't like all this." That takes something. It's very beautiful. So he's shocked. And then Hanuman thinks, Dushkaram Kurute Rama. Oh, Ramachandra's heart is hard. That he, without her, is still alive. How can he be alive? If anybody else would be there with a wife like that and the absence of her, they would have died. If he is holding on to his breath, That means something dushkaram kulte. His heart is. So for that, he realizes that he says, Dhimata. Ramachandra is very intelligent. He's in an indirect way, Ramachandra was indicating, Hanuman, you have no idea until you meet Sita. Then you will know why we miss her so much. Then he says, Vanaroham, I am a Vanar. Who sends a Vanara as a messenger? So there are two meanings to it. One is Ramachandra picked someone very nondescript, very ordinary. I don't like to say monkey, but he says Vanara. And sent him as a messenger. So a lesson for us is the one who brings or carries the name of Rama to give to others. One should not check which family they're born in, what are they Indian, are they foreigner, are they good looking, are they this, it's all irrelevant. Anybody can be empowered by Sri Ramachandra to pass on the holy name. Sometimes we may wonder, I'm not qualified. I'm not a great Acharya. How can I distribute the name of Rama to anybody else? So here it is, Vanaroham. It doesn't matter what background we are from. If you have a desire to serve Sri Ramachandra, then we are qualified enough. And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order is. Yare dekhe tare kaha, Krishna Upadesh, Amaragya Guru Anu. You have my order. Everybody should somehow or the other share, pass on the name of Krishna or Upadesh, Krishna instructions. Then says Rama Namankitam. Oh, we know the famous verse Mukam Karoti Vachaha. When the Guru's grace is there, even the mute person can sing eloquent. The crippled person can jump over mountains. That's the power of a Guru. Guru's empowered. Okay. Rama Namankitam Anguliyakam. So it has the name of Ramachandra. This means the holy name, and we'll see what happens when she takes the ring. So we'll come back to the Raman, a little of the holy name in a moment. So he says Anguliyakam Pashya. The ring belongs to who? Do you know? Sita Devi. So at their wedding, they had exchanged rings. The ring that had the name Rama was put onto her finger, and the ring that had the name Sita was put on his finger. But when he was leaving Ayodhya, everything he took off. He was not wearing any jewelry. It is Sita Devi's ring. Question is, how is that ring with Ramachandra? Right? Ramana. So here is the story. One afternoon, because in forest, it's like a vacation, no office, holiday for 14 years. They were having a great time. They would play every day. They would swim. We'll hear the story of swimming coming up. They would splash water on each other. They would have running race, swimming race. And Sita would always be faster in swimming. And she would tease Ramachandra, oh, I'm faster. And she would splash water on him and not allow him to come back to the shore. They would dance in full moon nights like Rasa Leela, just two of them, not everybody. So like that, one day, they had a little match, a game, where the wager was, Sita, if I win, you will give me that ring. If you win, since I don't have anything else, I will give you a very tight embrace. So the Sita was like, I need that embrace from Ramachandra. I have to win this game under any circumstance. But Ramachandra, while playing the game, was a little tricky, and he made her lose the game. So in anger, she dropped that ring. Not because she lost, but because she was deprived of the chance to embrace Ramachandra. So it is in loving Rasa Tattva, we call it mana, anger. So mana brings separation, right? So in and she threw the ring, or gave it to him, angrily got turned around and walked out of the ashram in a huffy, puffy, angry people. Like that only, what happens. And Ram is running behind Sita. Oh, Sita, wait, Sita, Sita. And he's running. And as soon as they come out of the ashram, there is a golden deer there. And suddenly the story changed immediately. Right? So Sita was being deprived of that embrace. Suddenly got attracted to the deer. We'll analyze the deer some other time, but got attracted to the deer. And one thing after another, very quickly got kidnapped. So as soon as she sees the ring, that entire episode is now she's reliving it. And then one good word here he says, Pashya, Devi Pashya. So he never says, I'm giving you the ring. Sometimes you see pictures, even in videos, Sita is sitting like this and Hanuman is giving the ring. This is not correct. It is not Vaishnava style at all. It's a wrong depiction. Here's the correct depiction. When he says Pashya, that means he's holding the ring in his palm like this and asking Sita to see, and she picks out of his hand. And why is that important? Because she is Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is always the giver. Person who's giving, their hand is higher. The one who's Yachaka, the one who's asking Lakshmi, his hand is always lower. So it is never possible that Sita's hand is like this. And this, Hanuman is very aware. This is why he is Buddhimatam Varishtam. So he says Sita Pash. So she picks up that ring. And he says Samashvasahi Bhadram. This is Anita. I brought this ring because he did it. And then Mahabhage. He's calling her Mahabhage because he has recognized that just as Ramachandra is Bhagavan, she is Bhagavati. So he's referring to her as the goddess of fortune. Then there are other meanings for each word, but I'm moving this forward. So then Sita Devi holds that ring and Valmiki says, Grihitva Prekshamana Sa Bhartur Karavibhushanam Bhartaramiva Samprapta Janaki Mudita Bhavat Charu Tadvadanam Tasya Tamra Shuklayata Ikshanam Ashobhata Vishalaksha Rahu Mukta Ivodurat Grihitva, having held the ring, Prekshamana Sa. She, Ikshamana means to look at, Prekshamana means to examine. Nicely, thoroughly. She was serious about it. Sir Bhartu Karavibhushanam. Her husband's Karavibhushanam, the ornament of the hand. Now, sometimes Angulikam, there Hanuman says Angulikam, here Valmiki says Karavibhushan. Why? Karavibhushan is also a bangle. He said ring, now he says perhaps bangle. So we'll solve that. So Prekshamana. So as Hanuman, being the messenger of Sri Rama, gives the holy name and one receives it, one should not take the holy name lightly. Prekshamana, one should study about the holy names, one should study the holy name carefully and Ucharana carefully as sadhana, not lightly. Prekshamana sa Bhartu Karavibhushan. So when she is looking at the ring, she is considering, it seems, according to Govinda Raja, that I have not been eating for 10 months. I have not been sleeping. So I have become very skinny. Maybe my Sri Ramachandra also has become very skinny, that this ring now fits like a bangle for him. That's why it's Karavibhushan. And then he says, Bhartara Viva Samprapta. She felt as if Ramachandra is standing in front of her. Janaki Udita. So she became delighted. First time in 10 months, she has become happy. She feels the presence of Sri Ramchandra. This is our philosophy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us. That there is no difference between the name and the name. Abhinna namo nama nama namo namina. No bhinna. The holy name is Sri Krishna. The holy name is Sri Ram. So she's feeling the presence of Ram. That's our philosophy. And Mudita for the first time in a different set of verses. There's a whole 8 verses which I call them Harshashtaka. Valmiki writes an exquisite poetry, the different bodily transformations in Sita out of Harsha, out of happiness. He says you can see the teeth of Sita Devi hidden inside the reddish lips. That means she's smiling in a way that the teeth are shown. Charupad Vadanam. Suddenly her face, which was all sullied and like that because of crying, Charupad Vadanam. Suddenly her face became beautiful. And Tamra Shukla Ayata Ikshanam. Suddenly in the big white part of her eyes, reddishness started to show. Red is the color of love. So when the reddishness shows means she's having feelings of love and prema for Ramachandra is it's awakening in a. So this is what it means. One who chants the holy name properly feels the presence as if they are in the presence of the Lord, and one's face, one's countenance, one's body, one's life, one's day, everything is filled with charm, becomes beautiful, and love begins to awaken. Is there a verse in the Bhagavatam exactly showing the same? Yes, different words. Valmiki Rishi and Vyasadeva. First Canto, chapter 7, verse number 7. He says, one who studies the Bhagavatam, for them, Shoka Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa, Shoka Moha Bhayapa. Yasyam Vaishruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurusha. One who hears about Krishna. For such a person, Bhakti Utpadyate, Shoka Moha Bhaya Apan is removed or killed. So she's feeling the presence of Sri Ramachandra, she's in delight. Then, when Hanuman had first met her, so I'm moving this too fast because we talked about this. He said, Rama, Lakshmana, Kushali, they're doing well. So she's surprised. Huh? Really such well? So then she asked, no, you tell me really, how are they doing? How is he doing? So then you saw the verse. Naiva damshan mashakan nakitan sarishukan raghavo apanaye gatra twadgate nantaratmana nityam dhyana paro ramam nityam shokaparayana nanyat chintayate kinchit tatukamavasham gataha. He's not thinking of anything else. He's not eating. Whatever food that he's supposed to eat, he's been eating 1/5 of it. And that too, some days he's not interested. And is only thinking about you. Na anyat chintayate kinchim. No other thought in his mind. And Nityam Shoka Parayana. He's become a servant of Shoka. Na anyat chintayate kinchim. Sa tu kama vasham kata. He has become a slave of karma, which means he's only thinking of you. Just the way you're reciting his name, he's constantly reciting your name. Sometimes we may have a doubt. I should say I may have a doubt. People, the sadhakas may have a doubt. Hey, I'm fasting for Janmashtami, I'm fasting for Gaur Purnima, Ramanavami, and performing austerity, chanting 16 rounds, following regular principles, prasad, distributing prasad, and books. Does he see it? Does he ever notice it? And so when there is such love, then we hear from Guru how he feels. He also feels like it. So he said, Twadgaten, he's also constantly thinking about you. He's absorbed in you. That's an assurance for us. Yes, the Lord notices. And how do we know that the Lord notices us? Any idea? That in the performance of sadhana bhakti, we experience some joy. Someone may say, oh no, I'm chanting, but there is no joy. But notice, but despite that, years have passed and we're still going. There is something that is Ramchandra feeding, Jagannath feeding us something to nourish, that nourishes us to continue. Okay, so then he has given the message, he has given the ring. Now it's time to go back. So he says to Sita Devi, uh, you know, let's go from here. I can take you back to Ramachandra right now. In a moment, I can fly and take you. You sit on my back, you will go. So she starts laughing. You're this little tiny fellow. What do you mean you can carry me on your back? He says, no, no, no. Don't get fooled by that. This is just I want to show you my real Rupa. And like Vishwarupa, I become so mighty. Like, ah. And then he tells them, see? And then she says, no, I cannot go with you. I cannot go with you because if I am on your back and you are leaving Lanka, the Rakshasis here will sound the alarm. And when they sound the alarm, you will start fighting with the Rakshasas, obviously, right? And in that, your attention from me may go, I may fall down again. No, no, I will make sure that nothing happens. Then she said, no, but when you're flying fast over the ocean, what if I slip and fall? There are alligators and piranhas and all these timingala fish and they will eat me up. I don't know. He says, no, no, Sita Devi, assured nothing will happen. Then she tells him the real. No, I will not voluntarily, knowingly touch another man. Then Hanuman stops in his tracks. And then she says even something fantastic. That I want the glory of Sri Ramachandra to be spread all over space and time. That he came here and finished Ram. The glory belongs to him. So lesson here is this is the nature of love. Okay? Prema Bhakti. That she is not concerned about her liberation. She's not interested. She's in terrible suffering. She is okay to continue her suffering because it will give Ramachandra great glory. She can finish her suffering like that and say, I'm done, I'm back with Ramachandra. But what the problem will be, what she's concerned is, history will say, some man took her away, some other man brought her back. What is the glory of Sri Ramachandra? That is Sri Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Mani. What is the glory for Rama? So I will continue taking care of my problems till Ramachandra comes. So then Hanuman says, okay. यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं
यदि न उत्सहसे यातुं
मया सार्धमनिन्दिते
सार्धमनिन्दिते
अविज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वम्
अविज्ञानं प्रयच्छत्वं
जानीयद् राघवो हि यत्
ज्ञानी यत् राघवो
एवमुक्ता हनुमता सीता
एवमुक्ता हनुमता सीता
सुरसुतोपमा
सुरसुतोपमा
उवाच वचनं मन्दम्
उवाच वचनं मन्दं
बाष्पप्रग्रहिताक्षरम्
बाष्पप्रग्रहिताक्षरम्
इदं श्रेष्ठम् अविज्ञानम्
इदं श्रेष्ठम् अविज्ञानम्
भूयस्त्वं तु मम प्रियम्.
भूयस्त्वं तु मनोप्रियम्.
So we generally do this topic and we reach the Sharanagati in a musical way. So when this verse is sung by my God sister, the audience cries. Because the way she sings it, because there is a emotion here. And I'll point because he said Sundaram Kavyam. Here's the Kavyam, one example. He says, Yadi na utsahase yatum. Okay, if you're not inspired to come with me, Maya Sadham along with me, Anindite. I understand. So no blemish will come on your character. Abhigyanam Prayachatvam. You give me some tokens, some message. Jani ho Raghavo here. By which Ramachandra will know that I met you. Because he will ask me, what did you talk? What did she say? And if you didn't say anything, he'll say, Hanuman, I'm not sure you met me. Or more importantly, what did my darling Sita say? That's what he wants to know. So, Evu Mukta Hanumata Surasutopama Sita Uvacha Vachanam Mandam. She spoke slowly. And here is the beauty of the poetry. Bhashva Pragrahita Akshara. Every syllable that she spoke was Grahita, held by tears. The words were held by tears. Bhashva Pragrahita Akshara. I think she's crying profusely and slowly. And then she says, Idam Sreshtham Abhikyan. This is the best token that I'm sending with you. Guru Yastam. Please tell Mama Priya, my darling Ramchandra, this message. So she says, Hanuman, nobody knows this. Long ago, when we were near Siddhashram, Siddhashram is when they had just left Ayodhya, and Siddhashram is on the northeast side of Chitrakuta because they came from Ayodhya. So they're very new. This is story from 13 years ago she's narrating. But this even Lakshmana doesn't know because it happened in private. And when we were in the Chitrakuta mountain near that area, not far from river Mandakini. Mandakini has abundant roots and fruits and birds and flowers and very, very beautiful place. If you go today, even now, to that river Mandakini, it seems as if it is stuck in time. I have not seen the city influence. It's so beautiful. Trees with, like banyan tree sticks coming down. The river goes like everything looks green. It's so beautiful, quiet, pristine, birds and flowers and all that. So she said we were having a fantastic time, and that day we were sporting in the gardens, and then we were enjoying the flowers and the bees and the whole scenery. And then we jumped into the waters of the Mandakini, and we were playing in that water. We were splashing with it, and we spent the whole day like that. And then after the whole day of playing like that, both of us were tired, and we walked out of the river with clothes completely wet. Now, as she's narrating this, she's not talking to Hanuman, she's talking to Ramachandra because Bhartur Samprapta Eva. She's talking because it's a private affair. She's not going to tell Hanuman, she's talking to Ramachandra as if she's talking to Ram. So she said we were with wet clothes and we both sat down there. And as we were sitting, tired, exhausted, suddenly a crow came there. And that crow started pulling on my cloth. And as it was pulling on my cloth, supposedly a strong crow, I tried to shoot the crow away. But he wouldn't go. He started pulling even harder. So my dress was slipping. So I'm holding on to my dress with one hand. I'm picking up some dirt and grass and throwing it on the crow. But the crow is not relenting. This scene as my cloth is slipping and me struggling with the crow, you saw, you started to laugh. Tvaya prahasita chaham kuruddha sanlajjata bhaksha griddhena kakena darita tvam upagata. So when you started laughing at me, I became bashful, shy. And I came and sat on your lap and put my head on your shoulder. So she says, when you made fun of me, I became angry, bashfulness. Why is he teasing me and not helping me? So then, when I started to cry like that because I was in distress, by this time the crow is gone. Then She says, I lay down on your lap for a very long time and took a long nap. And then I woke up. And then I sat and you rested your head on my lap and took a nice long nap. But while you were in deep sleep, this crow came back. And this time, instead of pulling on my dress, started to peck me right in the middle of my chest, my bosom. And I'm trying to struggle with him, and he is relentless, and he was pecking so hard and scratching that I was bleeding. What a rascal crow. And the drops of blood fell on you. And your sleep got disturbed. When warm drops of blood fell. You immediately woke up. You saw me bleeding. Hey, Sita, who did this to you? How can this happen? What happened? Who did this to you? And Sita did not say a word at all. She just kept quiet. The reason I'm narrating this because we're going to come back to the story and look at some things that are important. She says, I just kept quiet. Ramchandra started to look around and he saw this crow. His claws were reddish, his beak was red, and Ramchandra understood. It is this fellow. Then he turned to me and said, that crow is Indra's son. He's come from the heavens. And how dare he? And in a moment of anger, pulled out a straw from the straw mat that we were lying down on, invoked the Brahmastra and said, may this crow be punished. And suddenly, the Brahmastra, Jai Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharaj teacher, this Brahmastra came and stood right in front of this crow. Do you remember the story of Durvasa Muni and Sudarshan Chakra? Was similar. So, this crow got alarmed, turned around, and flew away. And Brahmastra started to pursue. We'll talk about that story even further, but let's go back. When Ramachandra is right there, he's seeing the crow pull on her dress. He didn't release the Brahmastra because the crow is still bothering her. She is holding on to her dress, throwing dirt on him. The crow is not relenting. But Ramchandra laughed. What does the laugh mean? That when he sees any of the human beings deal with their problems, crow is generally referred to or given in the Tattva side as sinful reaction, some reaction in life. That's it. The trees, the body, there are a lot of crows sitting. If you chant the Lord's name and clap, all the crows will run away. Which means if you chant the holy name, all the sins will go away from the body. So this crow represents. But when the jiva tries on his own, all that it does is we make a laughing stock of ourselves. But when she went and sat on his lap, which means she took his shelter, that crow went away. Then when she's peacefully sleeping on his lap, that means she's under his protection. There is no crow there in the sleep. When Ramachandra's eyes are closed, then the crow comes back. Now it doesn't mean that Ramachandra is negligent. So it means that reactions are always there. But now when it becomes offensive, when somebody is offensive to his devotee, then Ramachandra's anger cannot be compared. Now because the crow is just a small bird. Of all the astras that he could release, he released the Brahmastra. It is like trying to kill a mosquito with a nuclear bomb. So it is not that Ramachandra doesn't know what arrow to release, what astra to release. It shows his love for Sita, the anger that he has. How dare someone offend my devotee, that he releases the Brahmastra. Okay, so when this Brahmastra is released, this crow is flying everywhere. Sir, Darbham Samstrapya. Samstra, the one, the straw man that was there. Darbham Brahmastrena Yoje. Sir Dipto Evakala Agnir. Jajwala Abhimuko Dvijam. Dvijam is bird. Jajwala, the Brahmastra, was shining and standing face to face with the crow. So the crow ran away, started flying. Because it's Indra's son, he went. He went to Indraloka. So that's the next verse. Sapitra cha. So you can repeat if you want. Sapitra cha parityakta.
Savitra cha parityakta.
Shuraischa samaharshibihi.
Shuraista samaharshibihi.
Trim lokan saparikrmya.
Vivolokan samparikrmya.
Tameva sharanam gataha.
Tameva sharanam gataha.
Sa, the crow, pitra cha. Cha is for mother and father. So he crowed, he went to his mother and father. But parityakta, they said, sorry, cannot have. Sureshcha, even the demigods said, sorry, cannot have. That is a Ramabana. Your suffering, the reactions of offense, mother and father cannot help. The Devatas cannot help. Some Maharshis also said we have lot of mantras, we can do lot of things, but offense to a devotee we cannot remove. Sorry. Some rishi said, I didn't have my cell phone with me, I didn't get your call, I missed it. Trim lokan samparikramya. So he went from Bhuloka to Bhuvarloka, Swargaloka, Maharloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka. All of them said, including Lord Brahma. And Brahma said, this is my astra only. But it is released by Ramachandra. Sorry, buddy, cannot help. Then he went to Atala, Vitala, Sutala, Rasatala, Talatala, Patala. All of them said, cannot help. So what to do? What is the solution for clearing an offense? Trilokan Samparikramya Tam Eva Sharanam. He came back to Ramachandra's shelter, but the way we recite is Tam Eva Sharanam. He's tired, he's exhausted after flying all through the universe and not finding a solution. So, from a sadhana bhakti perspective, the meaning here is only Sri Ramachandra, Sita and Ramachandra can relieve us from the offensive mentality, the offenses, sins. Nobody else can do. Nobody else can. Therefore, Bhagavatam tells us that one who has taken shelter of the Lord has no obligation to the world, to the Pitris, to the Rishis, to anybody. But the answer, but it's only applicable if Tato Mukundam Sharanam Sharanam. One has to take complete shelter, not half here and there. So when nobody gave the crow any shelter, Sita then says, Sir, next one. Satam Nipatitam Bhumau.
Satam Nipatitam Bhumo.
Sharanyam Sharanagata.
Sharanyam Sharanagata.
Satam Nipatitam Bhumau.
Satam Nipatitam Bhumo.
Sharanya Sharanagatam.
Sharanyam Sharanagatam.
Padarhamapi Kakustha.
Varadahmapi Kakusta.
Kripaya Paryapalayat.
Kripaya Paryapalayat.
So she says, Satam Nipatitam. He fell on the ground in front of Ramachandra. Fell because he's exhausted. He has no more strength. And he has completely fallen in front of Ramachandra. Bhumo Sharanya Sharanagataha. Sharanya is Sri Ramachandra. Sharanagata. He came and took shelter at that person's feet who is the shelter for everybody. And then she says, Vadarham api, although he was fit to be killed. Vadarham api kakutsthaha, that is Ramachandra, kripaya paryaparayat. Very lovingly gave him mercy. How come Ramachandra's anger went away so quickly? One may say because he fell at his feet. That is true. But our Acharya has described that the way the crow fell at Ramachandra's feet, because he's exhausted, his falling at Ramachandra's feet is very clumsy. You know, clumsy? It's not done properly, improperly done. So apparently his legs were on Ramachandra's legs. Then Sita, who's standing there, takes the crow, turns the head to Ramachandra's feet. And as soon as she turns the crow's head to feet, Kripaya Paryapala Ramachandra. This is Sita. Our bhakti can be clumsy, not proper. But she is the correcting factor. Because she wants. Now he says Kripaya Paryapala. Kripaya means out of mercy. Another name of Lakshmi is Kripa. So Kripaya means by Lakshmi Devi, by Sita Devi, Paryapala. He got palan of the Lord because of Sita. Sita Devi ki jai. Then she uses the word Kakutstha. Now one may ask, hey, Brahmastra is slower than the crow or what? Why did the Brahmastra kill the crow? Vadarham api. He is fit to die. Huh? He is fit to die. Api. But he was not killed. And the secret is in the word Kakustha. This is the beauty of the Kavyam. Why the word Kakustha is used? So we have to go back in history. Many generations ago, Indra was fighting the Asuras. And he was not able to give them enough defense. So he invited one of the Raghuvamsha kings, Ikshwaku kings, to come and help him. So when that king went to fight the Asuras in Devaloka, the fight was very formidable. This king fought fantastically, but the Asuras smashed his chariot. So he didn't have a chariot, he's standing on the ground. But they need a chariot to fight. At that time, Indra became so grateful that he has come from Ikshwaku lineage to here to fight for me. Indra became a bull and made himself the chariot of this king. So this king stood on Indra as the bull with one foot on the hump of the bull. And in Sanskritam, the hump of the bull is called Kakut. And because he was standing on it, the king got the name Kakutstha. And Ramachandra is a descendant of Kakutstha, so he has the name Kakutstha. That's the connection. But when releasing the Brahmastra, although in anger, Vadarham api, Ramachandra considered his father served my ancestor. Out of that gratitude, I cannot kill him. I have such gratitude for Indra that I cannot kill him. So when in one's life, although sometimes we may make some big blunders, the reactions may not seem so big. Then we may think, oh, it was not such a big offense. Offenses might be very big. The reaction may not be so big because the Lord is considering he is a servant of Prabhupada. He is a servant of his Guru. On that basis, I'm just giving some token reaction. When the real reaction comes, we finish. So we are all the gratitude that we are under the shelter of someone very great and pure. Udaharanam api puस्तक कृपया पर्यपालय. It's called Kakasura Vrittanta in the Ramayana of how a crow who was Asuric attacked Sita Devi but got the shelter of Ramachandra by the same Sita Devi's grace, who was the offended. The Vaishnava is like that, although they're offended. Who do we remember? Lord Nityananda, right? Madai hit Lord Nityananda with a pot in an intoxicated condition. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who has no weapons, called the Sudarshan Chakra, it was Lord Nityananda himself. You start killing Jaga and Mada, and then the whole universe has to be killed. Yes. That is how they intervene. That is how Sita Devi intervened. That is how the Khaladini potency intervenes, and that is why we call upon her first. So we can all say together, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण हनुमान जी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय. Not bad, right on the dot. I told myself 4 times today, we have to finish on time. We can take 2 or 3 minutes, if you don't mind, for some discussion, question. I want to hear when you heard these verses. What did you feel? Did anything move for you? Is there a particular verse or phrase, word that moved you? I'm curious because it's Sundare Sundaram Kavya. Anyone? Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhupada. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Yogi, can you share a bit more on surrender? You mentioned just now, like this surrender should not be half-hearted and
Clumsy.
so clumsy. So, what does it mean by clumsy surrender, and how do you really take a full surrender?
How do we take full surrender? It is the grace that at least there is some semblance of surrender. Clumsy maybe, but there is some semblance of it. Somewhere I heard someone say that if someone comes to the temple and their money or something falls down, they bend to pick it up. Then Srimati Radharani says, "Hey, give him mercy. Krishna is offering obeisance." And Krishna will say, "He's not offering obeisance. He's just picking up his thing." No, that's obeisance. You have to give your mercy. She's the compelling force. So this is the appreciation of why the Hare Krishna mantra, first of all, and the second, why we have to approach Sharanagati through the Bhagavatas. In this case, it was Sita Devi, and also the internal potency. There it was Sugriva yesterday. So unless it's through the Bhagavatas, the whatever is lacking is adjusted by them. When we make an offering, bhoga offering, that's our prayer. What can I offer you? I'm very lacking. I'm lacking in the skill to cook, because what are we comparing with? In Padyavali, Rupa Goswami includes a verse from Sri Ramanujacharya. Padyavali is one of my favorite books. It's a collection of verses by Rupa Goswami. Avali means string, Padya Avali, string of verses. And they're about offering bhoga. When it comes to offering bhoga, the verse is by Ramanujacharya that what can I offer you? There Rukmini is offering, Radharani is offering, Mother Yashoda is offering, Devan. They're all amazing cooks. Compared to that, what am I offering you? Neither salt is there, the color may not be okay, the texture may not be okay. Even then, what is completely lacking is any love. So you're not obliged to take. But I beg you, because my guru has asked me to offer, please take. And then we offer through the parampara, so they make a recommendation, please accept this jiva's offering, accept this jiva. Then we have some hope. That's what we see. So it may be clumsy because we're still trying. We're practicing. I should say I am practicing. I can say this to this assembly that we are practicing. Sorry, I am practicing. It's clumsiness. Remember that, to focus that's our meditation. I am under the shelter of. It is the Bhagavata's grace that will keep me going, or is keeping me here. Okay. Okay, there's somebody right in the back. Please raise your hand, Martin. What's the starting of it?
So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Curious. So when the crow story was circled through Ram, what happened?
Full stop. Although, not only with the story, she removes her chudamani that she has with her, the chudamani that her father gave, and she sends with Hanuman. When Ramachandra sees that and hears the message, he's completely melted. Because there is a message in it. Thank you for saying it. The message is, oh Rama, see, Sita and Rama don't exchange words, but everything is conveyed. That's what we talked about. Here is the message she sends through Hanuman, just by narrating the story. Hanuman just is hearing the story, but Ramachandra knows what it is. The message is, oh Rama, when a very small crow attacked me a little bit, you released the Brahmastra on him. But now 10 months have passed. This horrible villain Ravana has kept me in captivity out of no response. Please speed up. I'm dying without you. Because she tells Hanuman, 1 month. If in 1 month Sri Ramachandra does not come, I'm giving up my life. That's it. I've tolerated. I've somehow held my breath, but that was it. So that's the message. Come fast. The viraha is too much. In Rupa Goswami's Ujjvala Nilamani and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, we hear that it is called pravasa. The separation, pravasa. The lovers are separated for a very long time. So it's very intense. And one of the features in that is death, that they don't find any reason to continue living. Yeah? Should we end? One second, yes.
You don't need that mic.
Oh, there are devotees listening. So they can hear the question. Devotees are listening online. So they can hear your question.
Prabhuji, first of all, thanks a lot for this wonderful narration of Ramayana. We have been cherishing for the last couple of days. You asked about what moved us,
Yeah.
and this last part of the where you stopped, that Sita Devi turned his head towards
Yes.
us, and that is how we access that mercy. We have somewhat similar feelings about this whole Ram Katha that we heard from you, that we have been hearing about Ramayana and Mahabharata and these things from ages, but this mellow didn't come, and that has become accessible to us only through you. And that's one of the beautiful examples of how being under the shelter of Bhagavatas like you, we can access the mercy of God. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Thank you for your kind words. Although honestly, if my spiritual master did not encourage, I would have been able to study. It is his grace that some interest is there, although I'm seriously lacking. And my only hope is that I'm reading the verses and you're also reading the same verses. So I just wanted to show that the story is one thing, but there is so much juice. Every word he has picked, the placing of the word, the feelings, the emotions. Bhashpa pragrahita aksharam. And her eyes has a reddish color. These are all hints of love that is a full on Rasa Shastra. And thanks to Srila Rupa Goswami, thanks to Prabhupada for bringing it to us, for him to writing it and for him to bring us so we can know what Rasa looks, why there is so much juice in the Lord's pastimes. And we also have access to it someday in the future. That's all. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know Sanskrit. I'm just reading the words, but it is very sweet and relational. So it doesn't. I can't. It doesn't belong to me. But thank you for expressing it. It gives me encouragement.
Thank you very much, Guru. If we have a minute or two,
I'm not the one controlling the clock.
we have
Yes.
I'd like to
I was late yesterday, so I don't want the stigma that ये time में खत्म नहीं करता है, so. Because next time if they're thinking about me, they'll say, oh, that guy never completes on that. So I'm greedy of reserving a ticket for next. We can speak
Yes.
casually if you don't mind. Okay,
Sure.
let's end here. Thank you because I've already gone over. Srila Prabhupada, Jai, Samaveta.
Jai.